Hey everybody, welcome to another heavy training day on the Bowflex. Now, what do I mean by that? We're gonna be counting our reps and we're gonna rack up this machine with a lot of weight. We're still gonna have the clock though, and we're just gonna be using that to count our rest periods. Now, today's routine, I'll be doing this on a flat bench style Bowflex, but you can do it on upright machine like an Exceed or an Extreme. All you gotta do is run it through the bottom set of pulleys, and on the rowing motions, just sit down on the floor or on like a chair or a yoga ball, and you should be able to replicate everything we're doing today. So in today's routine, we're going to be doing a total of 24 sets, and we're going to break that down into 4 different circuits. In our first circuit, we're going to do things kind of at a little bit lighter of a weight. I still want you racking up a lot, but not necessarily your maximum resistance weight. And I want us to kind of ease into things where we're going to figure out what our lifts are and get a good a feel for how much weight we can do. And then in our second, third, and fourth circuits, we are really going to push ourselves to the extreme and rack up as much as weight as we can do. So before we get into that, we're going to have a 3-minute warm up, and let's get into that now. Let's get things started with some tuck jacks. Now for these, you're going to bring your hands up above your head, clap them together like you're doing a jumping jack. But instead of bringing your feet out wide and in together, you're going to do a high knee and then clap your hand underneath that knee. We're going to do this for 30 seconds here. This will loosen up our back, our shoulders, our knees, get that blood flowing as we do. Now these are a nice low impact way to get your legs moving and your arms moving and everything going. All right, so in 7 seconds, we're going to switch to some yeses and then some nos. So for these, exactly what you'd think they'd be. Now, you're going to start out by doing an exaggerated yes with your head and neck. We'll do a few of these. Then we're going to switch into some exaggerated nose where you look way over your shoulders. Let's go back to some yeses. And nose. And you can do a nice whole spin if you want to do a few of those too. And now we're going to move into some YTWs. So for a Y, you put your hands up above your head. Now reach up. And then bring them together in front of you. A T all the way out, together, and then a W, and then together. So we're going to do these for about a minute here. T, together, W, together. And as you do these, really stretch out far to get the maximum stretch out of this. And with the W's, I like to really try to feel this squeeze in my back here as you do this stretch here. So T, together, W, together. Let's do one more. Y, together, T, together, W, and together. All right, so next we're going to do some arm pulls here. Pull your arm across your body. Just grab your elbow. We're just stretching out our shoulders and our triceps like this. And then switch arms. And then finally, we're going to do some finger pulls. So for these, grab your hand and then just kind of stretch out your forearms, stretch out those fingers. You can do it like this as well. We're just trying to loosen up our forearms, our biceps, and our fingers here just a little. And when this clock hits 0, we're going to start racking up our weight here. So I'm going to go ahead and release or put my Bowflex back down here. And for your weight setting, you are going to want to rack up a resistance that's going to be difficult for you to do 8 reps, but not impossible. And so maybe, this is a little bit more than what you're used to doing on the timed routines on the channel. So if you normally do 50 pounds, you might want to go, 60 pounds or 70 pounds for this first set. And then after we get through our first circuit, in which we're going to do each one of these lifts once, then you can adjust the weight, and there'll be a little bit of time for that. So for me, I'm going to rack up 80 pounds of power rods, and then I'm also using my elastic band resistance upgrade here to get a little bit more weight out of my machine because the out-of-the-box Bowflex just does not have enough for me. So once you've got that all set up, we're just going to sit down on our bench and we're going to start things off with some hammer rows. And for this, you're going to grab your handles and then you're going to hold them like this, like you're holding a hammer. And then you're going to lean forward just a little bit and then you're going to pull these handles in towards your body. And we're going to do a set of 8. So here we go. There's 1, 2, and now hold the handles back for just a moment. There's 3, 4, now hold it. 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, so in this first set, we're only gonna have 30 seconds between each rep or each set. And once we get into the circuits 2, 3, and 4, we're gonna have 45 seconds between each. So we gotta keep moving here. And our next lift is gonna be a seated bicep curl. So for this, you're gonna basically be in the same position, have your knees at a slight bend. You're gonna lean back, and then you're gonna curl the weight towards you. Now, if this weight setting is too much for you after your first setting, you can slide in just a little bit closer to the tower for a little less resistance, or further away for more. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. So our next lift is going to be a leaning curl, or excuse me, a leaning row. And so for this, we're going to lean back here. So we are not like laying down here, but then you're just going to pull this weight back towards you. Just like this here. So everybody join me here in 4 seconds. Here's 1, and just bring this as far back as you can. There's 2, 3, and again, this is a natural grip here, not the hammer grip. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. All right, so for our next lift, we're going to be doing some isolation bicep curls. And for this, what I'm going to do is I like having one foot kind of running across the machine, and then I'm going to have one foot planted on the ground here. And I'm going to use this kind of for stability for my elbow. And then I'm going to just curl the weight in towards my body. Now you'll notice I'm holding this other handle. I'm only doing this because of my elastic band upgrade, but here I'm going to now just start curling. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale as you're curling in. 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. So we're just going to spin around now and do the other arm. And again, with all these lifts, what you really want to do is focus on not moving other parts of your body other than the muscle that you're trying to work here. So for this, we're working our biceps. So we just want to be moving basically from, our elbow to our handles here. And that's really going to isolate our bicep. And we're just curling that weight in towards our shoulders. So here we go. All right, let's curl, everybody. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. All right. So we've got one more lift here, and these are going to be called shoulder pulls. So for this, we're going to be standing up here, and I'm now going to have my left shoulder here up facing against the tower, and with my right hand, I'm going to grab this this far out handle here, and now I'm just going to pull this weight right up towards my shoulder here, just like this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. Now, when doing those, I like to try to hold the weight up at my shoulder for just, you know, a quarter of a second or something, not release right away. You get a little bit more difficulty by doing that. So this is going to be our last exercise in the first circuit here. And then we're going to have, I believe it's a minute break, and we're going to get right back into things. So let's go, everybody. Shoulder pulls, other side. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold it up there, 8, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna have this 30 seconds plus I believe it's another 30 seconds, so you can go ahead and grab yourself a drink of water, and we can also use this time to adjust the weight setting on our machine. So I feel like I can add a little bit more weight, so I'm gonna add a few more power rods, and then we're just gonna run back those exact same exercises we just did. All right, I guess I'm just gonna throw on all my power rods. I've also got a 40-pound cable or elastic band upgrade going, so this is gonna be tough here for me. But we wanna have a weight setting here where we can barely do 8 reps. And I think this is gonna do it for me. So, all right, so for our first lift then in the second circuit, we are gonna be doing our hammer rows here. So again, you're gonna be seated straight up and down, maybe lean forward just a tad, and we're pulling this weight in. Here we go. There's 1, 2, 3, and you can also get further back if you'd like. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. So for me, if I have too much weight, if I were to throw on even more than I have, which I don't think I could really do, my the center of gravity on my machine kind of gets a little off, and sometimes my machine will wobble a bit. But that's, you know, if that's happening, slide up just a tad bit closer to the machine and you should be good. So anyways, our next lift is our lying bicep curl. So for this, again, you're gonna have your knees at a slight bend here, and then you're gonna lean back, and then you're gonna be curling the weight in towards your body, both arms at the same time. So everybody join me here in 3, 2, 1, let's go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when I curl like this, for some reason, I bring my hands together and the handles touch. There's 7 and 8. So if your handles don't come together naturally, that's okay. You can do it out wide too. I just bring them together. So, all right. So next, we're gonna have more rows. So this is again, this is gonna be the lying back row. So this is where we're gonna be leaning back here like this, grabbing those handles, and then pulling them back. But we got another 20 seconds here, so take a breather. And then we're gonna, again, natural grip in this case here, lean all the way back. And then we're going in 2, 1. Here we are, 1, 2, 3, and we're exhaling as those rods bend. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we are. So next, we are going to be doing our isolation bicep curl. So again, for that, you're going to have one leg across the bench here and the other leg out and stable on the ground. We're going to stabilize our elbow on our thigh as we curl the weights up towards our shoulders. So hopefully by stabilizing here, you're really only moving this part of your body just from your elbow down to your hands, and that's going to really isolate your biceps here. So about our 4 circuits. In circuit number 4, we are just going to be doing those 3 lifts that we just did. We're going to cut out these 2 isolation exercises in our final circuit. So we got this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So as I was saying, in our final set, we're just doing the hammer rows, the seated curls, and then the lying row. And so that's how we're getting the 24 sets. So we've got 7 in first circuit, 7, 7, 3. I always feel like I get into arithmetic when doing these, and I hope it's not too painful to try to follow my numbers there. But all right, more isolation bicep curls in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. There's 1, 2, 3. You got this. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, if you can't get all 8 in, that's okay. Hopefully you're getting in, 5, 6, 7 reps. Not being able to complete your whole set is okay, as long as it's because you just don't have any, your muscles are kind of giving out on you, and it's not your spirit. So next we have got our shoulder pulls. So for this, again, we are reaching across the Bowflex, and then we are just going to be pulling this weight up towards your shoulder, and you want to hold it up there for a second or two. Don't let your arm lock like I just did there. We're going to pull it up, hold it, 1, 2, and then release. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. One more set in our second circuit, and that will put us over halfway done once we're done with this next. Actually, we're over halfway done now, but not quite done with this second circuit. Stay loose. Stay with me. And after this, again, you can adjust your weight setting after this circuit's completed. Add a bit more, adjust, or maybe bring it down depending what you're, where you're getting to on your sets. And again, here we're going to be doing another set of shoulder pulls. So for this, again, you're standing up nice and tall and bringing that handle up towards that shoulder in a nice controlled fashion. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. We got 2 circuits down here. No break this time, but you still got your 45 seconds between each set. And you guys know the drill. our first exercise of this circuit is going to be hammer rows again. So you'll be seated on the bench. Take a breather here. You got just a little bit more time. We're going to get all set up now. So I'm going to leave my resistance the same, obviously, and I'm going to get in position here. I'm going to slide back just a bit, and now I'm going to be rowing back towards my body here. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. So next up, we have our seated bicep curls, or almost like laying down bicep curls. And so this 45 seconds between lifts, if you do a lot of the HIIT workouts on the channel, you'll know that that interval of rest is a lot shorter. And in rep-based work, a lot of people will take 45 seconds, even the 2 minutes off between reps. And I really like using this clock here to keep us all, on target, and really just getting through our whole workout in as little as time as possible. And we're not getting too much rest in, I know, but that's going to keep our heart rate up. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So as I was saying there, a lot of the lifts I put out on the channel are, between, if you subtract out the warm up and the intro, we're only working out for 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes. And you'll see people that say, oh, I go to the gym for an hour, and we're trying to get basically an hour's worth of work in our 30 minutes. And some of that is afforded by having, this great machine, the Bowflex, to do all this. So that's kind of why I keep the timer here behind me, even when I'm doing a heavy training routine, is keep us all on schedule. So next, leaning back here, and we're rowing. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. Now we've got our final set of isolation curls and shoulder pulls, and then we still have another set of our hammer rows, and lying curls. But this is going to be our set of both of these two. Again, for this, we're going to be focusing on our form, planting that shoulder, or that elbow, I mean. Here we go. Everybody join me in 2, 1. Let's curl. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. Let's use that 45 seconds of rest to really focus. And rebuild so we can knock out this last set here. One more set of bicep curls. let's get in position. 3, 2, and 1. Now let's curl. 2, 3, 4. Give me all you got. Come on. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Here we go. Now again, you might notice me holding both of these handles here. If you're not using the elastic band upgrade, you don't need to do that. This is so my bands stay in full tension while I'm doing that. But we are done with that exercise, and we're on to our shoulder pulls again here. 20 seconds. Take a breather. All right, 5 more seconds, and we're pulling. All right, here we go. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. If you got more than 8, I want you going until you can't do any more. There's 5. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. So we got 1 more set of shoulder pulls, 3 more sets after that, and then we're calling it a day. That is, unless you got more gas in the tank, I'll have some links to some add-on videos that you can do as well. But for me, and I think a lot of us, this will be the home stretch. All right, so shoulder pulls, other arm in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As many as you can do. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Got 1 more. 12. All right. On the hammer rows, everybody. We're going to be sliding back. Again, you can just have your feet on the crossbar, or for more difficulty, slide all the way back. And we're going to be seated straight up, and if anything, maybe lean forward just a tad as you do these. In 3, 2, 1. Here's 1, 2, 3. Focus on your form. 4, 5. As many as you can do though. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Next up, we got our bicep curls. Ask yourself, how many are you going to do here? You doing just the 8? You doing 10? I'm going for 12 here. This ain't easy though. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all I got. Whew. All right, so we are on to our final set here, and that's going to be our lying row motion. So again, we're going to be grabbing our handles, natural grip, leaning back, and then we're just pulling that up and back towards our chest and our shoulders. So we got 10 seconds, and then we're giving it all we got, as many reps as you can. Final set of the day. Here we are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, as many as you got, 11, 12, 13. All right. Excellent job, everybody. Way to go with your heavy training routine. Now, before we wrap, we need to remove our power rods from tension, and we're going to wrap them up with a bungee cord. Now, if you want to have, get a couple more lifts in, maybe you got some more gas in the tank, check out the other videos that should be up on the screen right now. They're little add-on routines where you can isolate a single muscle group for 10 sets or so. So as always, if you enjoyed this workout, please give it a like and a comment, and be good to yourself, be good to others, and thank you for watching.